Have you ever cried out to God, asking Him why life is so hard? Are there times when it seems like God isn't doing anything around or through you? Well, if so, you're not alone. Many heroes of the Bible had difficult times in their lives when it seemed like God was nowhere to be found. But God was at work, shaping them so He could use them. In this video, we'll look at Jeremiah and Joseph and how God used hardship to prepare them for His purposes. There's big lessons for us today, and at the end of the video, I'll share 3 that can help you if you find yourself in difficult times. If you're someone who wants to be a disciple and make disciples in the 21st century, then make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell, because every week we're creating videos and resources to help you live and share your faith. You know, many of us come to faith in God and expect Him to make our lives easier. And this is somewhat understandable. After all, doesn't God want to save and bless us? And doesn't that mean He will cause things to go smoothly for us? Not necessarily. God's thoughts are not our thoughts, and His ways are not our ways. And the sooner we make peace with that, the better. One of the most quoted and misunderstood verses in the Bible is Jeremiah 29:11, where God says, "I know the plans that I have for you, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope." But few people know the verse right before this one, where God said, "When 70 years have been completed, I will visit you and fulfill my good word to you to bring you back. For I know the plans that I have for you." 70 years. You see, God's plan for Jeremiah's generation was calamity. God brought them warfare, not welfare. Jeremiah 29:11 was a promise to the unborn grandchildren of people who had just been conquered and taken into exile. Now let's pause for a moment so I can ask you something, and I want you to be honest. Did you know that about this verse? And have you been guilty of misusing it? Let us know in the comments. The point is, God is not trying to make our lives easier. That's not His goal. Instead, He's working to shape us into His image so we can partner with Him in His purpose. And to do that, He uses hardship, suffering, and pain. Yes, pain. It's critical that we shift our understanding of how God works in our lives. It'll change your perspective and enable you to embrace the hard times. Now, one of my favorite examples of this in the Bible is the story of Joseph. As a teenager, God gave Joseph dreams that revealed he had a special plan for his life. But most people don't realize it was 22 years before those dreams were fulfilled. And in between, God giving Joseph those dreams and fulfilling them was a lot of pain and suffering. He was betrayed multiple times, falsely accused, and he spent years of his life suffering in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And all of that wasn't accidental. It was part of God's plan. Psalm 105 tells us that until He fulfilled Joseph's dreams, God tested his character. Now later in life, Joseph spoke to those who had betrayed him and caused him those years of suffering and pain. And he told them, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." Joseph was able to see that God had used suffering to shape his character and prepare him for His purpose. So here are 3 takeaways I want you to remember. First, adjust your expectations. God isn't going to make life easier. He's going to make you more holy. Second, study the heroes of the faith. How did God use suffering to shape them? And what lessons can you take for your own life? And third, endure. Like Joseph, often we can't see how God is shaping us until we're on the other side of hardship. The Bible tells us you have need of endurance, so that when you have done the will of God, you may receive what was promised. Well, I hope this video encouraged you. And if it did, click the like button and please share it with others. Also, check out these other videos that can help you live your faith in the 21st century. We'll see you next time.